Let's talk about the furry comic Rankless. Seeing its nearly perfect score on Webtoons really drew my curiosity, and I decided to investigate. We find ourselves in a world of dragons, the four-legged plus wings European kind. They live together in colonies of various sizes and enjoy a rather strict meritocracy as a governing system. Vocabulary word of the day, boys and girls, meritocracy. Basically, your deeds and accomplishments decide your standing in society, and any crimes or law breaking can tear it down for you. The dragons of the colony of Whitegate literally wear their ranking around their necks as medallions from 1 to 20. 1 being the queen in charge, and 20 being the youngest dragon to join their adult society. Main character Apple is the daughter of the current queen, Orchard, and has just turned 5 years old, the age of maturity to get her own medallion. She's eager to show others that she can be useful and not a subject of nepotism, despite what some dragons might say about her. The comic really goes out of its way to show that these numbers basically rule their lives. When they're angry, when someone is giving orders, they don't even refer to each other by their names, they refer to their ranking number. If your number is lower, you're basically just better than the ones of lower rank, and that's that. Heck, Apple can barely get any food because she's basically the last one to eat in the entire colony every night. You can see the flaws in a society like this, no doubt. Young people have no shot at power, are not fed well, and have no chance to catch up to their older counterparts by experience or deed. It's a lopsided way of living that favors the older and more experienced of their society. A meritocracy sounds good on paper, but it is a deeply flawed system that raises several big problems. Some dragons become depressed that, compared to their peers, they have no shot of ever climbing through the ranks and achieving greatness. Others become power-hungry to the point of murder to get those of the higher rank out of their way. It's a very dangerous and hyper-competitive way of living. And then there are the Rankless, thusly the comic's title. If you cause enough trouble or break enough laws, you are exiled from the colony and become rankless. Dragons that don't have a number are cast out and have their medallion destroyed. They are shunned and thrown out of the colony as outsiders with no chance of ever returning. Soldier dragons called defenders patrol night and day to keep them out, so there is no earning your way back into their good graces. Being rankless is basically a death sentence, as once you're out, and no other colony is going to take you in. You're out in the wilds, and you have to fend for yourself. Strangely enough, one of the primary things you can get thrown out for is the use of magic. Magic is forbidden in the colony of Whitegate, even though every single dragon seems to have it. It's a biological thing that can forcefully manifest in a moment of panic, anger, or even desire. Several dragons exhibit magic without meaning to and hide it as best they can. Dragon rank 16, Lottie, is a cowardly dragon, and when she gets very scared, she turns invisible. But she begs Apple to never tell anyone about it because it would land her in hot water if anyone knew that she could do that, even unintentionally. Dragon rank 19, Comet, has a nasty temper and can literally shoot lightning out of her mouth. When she does so during a sparring match, because of her temper, she loses her rank and drops to the very bottom rank of the entire colony. She was very nearly exiled, but the queen showed mercy because she was horrified at what she had done. Now it stands to reason to ask, why is magic forbidden in the colony of Whitegate? Well, it ties right back to their meritocracy way of living. When a dragon gains a rank medallion, they start at the very bottom like everybody else and have to work their way up like everybody else. Having or using magic means you have an unfair advantage, and that's a big no-no to them. It's not fair, and no one's allowed to use an unfair advantage. Sorry, that's really just hard to justify to me when you guys can't even feed 20 members of your tiny society on a regular basis. They have no concept of farming, so food kinda just comes and goes. Then again, this is the same society who assigned a deaf mute to be one of their patrolling guardians, so they may not all be there in the head to start with. Orange, rank 17, is a defender of Whitegate who cannot hear or speak, but somehow managed to get a job as a soldier. I hope nobody sneaks up on the poor guy. He wouldn't hear them coming, and sign language is not a thing among dragons if he did see someone sneaking up on the colony. Main character Apple serves as an excellent lens into the society of the dragons of the colony of Whitegate, experiencing everything for the first time. The comic goes into great detail about how their lives function, what their jobs are, who's in charge and who isn't, and what the day-to-day duties of ranked dragons are. There don't appear to be any children or those who don't have a rank yet around. But then again, 20 characters is a lot to keep track of, so I can kind of understand it's probably for the best. They even go out of their way to talk about the Zeros. The Zeros are dragons who have died. When you perish, your rank disappears from your medallion, and everybody below you shifts up one rank. So if dragon number 4 dies, for example, dragon number 5 becomes dragon number 4, and so on and so forth. This also explains how their leadership works, as the only way to replace Orchard, the rank 1 colony queen, is for her to die. Way to paint a target on your back in this hyper-competitive space, lady, I'm just saying. But they do have religious phrases like thank the Zeros and such, meaning thank the spirits or thank the dragons that came before us. It's not quite a religion, but they do remember those who have fallen, so it's close. Rankless goes out of its way to really world build this odd little society and show you its strengths, its flaws, and the characters within. It really takes its time to marinate in the day-to-day lives of dragons that live this way and why. Judging by the size of the fruit that they eat compared to their hands, I wouldn't say that they're much bigger than horses, so that they can coexist with their environment without just destroying the local ecosystem. It is a strange and lopsided way of living, but by and large they do seem to be getting on okay. 20 is a dwindling population, according to them, but within the next 5 years they are expecting to rise to about 55. I don't know if that's a good idea if they can't even seem to feed 20, but I guess they'll cross that bridge when they come to it. This comic is an excellent exercise in world building, personality clashes, cultural exploration, and proving yourself not because of bad odds, but because you have to earn what you get. Start at the bottom and work your way through word and deed, or else you'll be, well, rankless. So, all that being said, should you read Rankless? Absolutely. It's colorful, expressive, it posits questions about society and fairness. It's very interesting. The Dragon Society of Whitegate is deeply flawed, but fun to watch while they compete, police each other, and try to get along in their own way. Depression, hyperfixation, and violence abound. It's amazing to experience this place through Apple's eyes and see just what this society has to offer. I say, check it out.